What else? You seem unsettled.
I'm all right.
If you're not in, you need to tell me.
Why?
Because you don't know someone till you know what they want. I can't advise your counseling.
But you are advising.
Dun, dun, dun. A respected lawyer finds his life spiraling out of control after he gets involved in a shady business deal. Springfield's own Brad Pitt is one of the several great actors taking center stage in The Counselor, the latest from acclaimed director Ridley Scott. Your movie friend Aaron Dicer with us this morning. Tell us about this one.
The Counselor, this is one of those movies that should be better than it is. It's a kind of a disappointing movie because you've got these amazing, cast of A-list actors. You've got a great writer in Cormac McCarthy, and you've got Ridley Scott, who certainly knows how to direct a movie, and yet it just came away feeling bored at this one.
Huh, because of the dialogue? Is it slow? Like, I need
yes.
detail,
if you want to get right to the heart of it, this movie is just slow. It's bloated. There is so little going on so much of the time. I think there is an interesting plot possibly hiding behind a lot of that bloatedness, but it's a slog to sit through.
Yeah, so some of the critics are calling it pretentious.
That works.
Is it pretentious?
Yeah, that
is that
word,
a good word for it?
Definitely works, especially the ending of this movie. And I won't give too much away. I don't like to do that. But the ending of this movie is just really pretentious and confusing and just very dissatisfying. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, so likely not any nominations, I guess, for your...
This is one probably you won't see around Oscar time. I think Brad Pitt does great in this. The other actors are good. Javier Bardem has one of those strange performances that you're not sure if it's really amazing or if it's really bad. So you kind of have to make up your mind. I went with really bad because half the time I can't understand what he's saying. So that makes it a little rough for me.
And real quickly here, I'm looking at Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Is she good in it?
She does fine.
Okay.
Yeah, she really does fine. Like I said, the acting in this isn't the problem. It's that they're put in this environment where they spend, entire scenes on something that's just not important to the plot. Now, I do have to say there are good things about this movie. The themes in this movie are really good. There's a theme of sin and consequence and making bad choices and how that affects the people around you.
Yeah.
That
so
is
that's
really
your best,
powerful.
Worst? That's your best,
yeah,
worst?
we can go to best thing, worst thing. As far as best thing, yeah, I would say that. The deep themes are the best thing about this movie. Worst thing, like we mentioned, it's just bloated. And overall, I would give it a C-. And I should also mention, this is one of those movies that really shoves the depravity of it in your face. It really wants to shock you with a lot of that, and I think unnecessarily so in this one.
Okay, movie number 2.
Yep.
Grandpa, this thing doesn't work.
Oh, God.
Well, this weekend's other new release, including something on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, the candid camera-esque comedy Bad Grandpa. Johnny Knoxville stars as an 86-year-old man named Irving Zisman, who goes on a strange and quite raunchy road trip across the country with his 8-year-old grandson. And this one, I guess, aimed more for the college crowd, I suppose?
Absolutely. And
because of the raunchiness? Sorry, college kids, you're not raunchy.
No, I mean, I think that's just who Johnny Knoxville and this crew kind of appeal to because of the way they do their antics and what they do. And certainly if my theater was any indication, they're hitting the mark because it was full of kind of that college-age, male student there in the theater. This is one of those that kind of surprised me because we've seen these movies before. Sacha Baron Cohen does them, where he goes in front of unsuspecting people, plays a character, they don't know it's a character, and you get to see their honest reactions to this outlandish stuff.
Right.
But what's different about this one is it tells it in a story format that really kind of hangs together well and has a little bit of heart to it. So, this one kind of ties all those, candid camera-like scenes together in a pretty interesting way.
Right, and so young actor, does he do well? Like, does he play it off?
Yeah, no, he actually does really, really well, which is interesting because this
What's his name, Jackson?
Yes, Jackson Nickel, I think, something like that. But he's cute, he's adorable, and of course he's in this movie that is really raunchy, which is kind of this counterpunctual thing that a movie that I would never take an 8-year-old to stars an 8-year-old.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things you're left going, huh. That's interesting.
So it is like for the college and older crowd. It's not really for the young
if
ones.
that, and if I had to say one thing about it, I wonder if they had to be as vile as they were in some of these things. I think they could have gotten. I really enjoyed the candid camera type thing. I loved that show back in the day.
Yes.
And they even in the credits of this one kind of give you that reveal where they do the cameras are over here and they're over here and you've been on camera, and I love that kind of stuff. But they took it so far, and I know that's kind of part of their gig that it made it was a little distracting.
All right, so your best, worst, final grade for it?
Absolutely. Best thing is that candid camera type thing. I love that. I think it's great. I think it works here. Worst thing is it's just sophomoric. You know, the humor is just really lowest common denominator type stuff. And overall, I give it a very surprising B-.
B-, all right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
this is one of those weekends where you play catch up.
Okay.
You know, if you haven't seen Gravity or Captain Phillips or something like that,
Then
I would say you go see that rather than one of these.
Okay. Thanks. Your movie friend Aaron Dicer. We'll be right back with one more look at the forecast with Brandon.